Hello, welcome to In the Red Corner, and thanks for joining. I'll just wait till somebody jumps in a little bit early than I announce, but that's what I normally do. What am I playing?
Same Facebook group.
Yeah, and if anybody don't join it, it'll just go up as a normal video anyway, so no big worries, is it, Maddie?
No.
We've got Super Michael Duffy. He knows exactly what we need.
Where have you been for the last week? Honestly.
Just get another minute or so, then we'll crack on whether anybody jumps in or not. Oh, it looks like we've got somebody. If you can hear me, just comment so I can hear you. So no, I'm not talking absolute garbage to Miss N and Maddie. And whoever you are, thanks for joining. You'll be the first one to see new mascot of In the Red Corner, presenting Bendy Man. Is a new mascot of In the Red Corner. So welcome, Bendy Man.
I think you need to stay off at whiskey, mate.
With obviously what's happened this week as well. Not going to go into that, but sod him. Who needs Michael Duffy anyway? We've got Super Michael Duffy.
Oh, shut up.
But yeah, I just thought I'd have a look at some of what I found out while we were cleaning up the other day. It's this book, as you can see, 10 season series, obviously about best club on planet, Barnsley Football Club, seasons 1983. 1983 to 84. I thought that said to 81 then. And to 1992 to 1993. Cost me, a fiver back in there. Kept it well, as you can see. It's quite in good condition, considering. Not going to go through it word for word. Not going to be a long video. So yeah, like I say, just with what's happened it week, everybody knows about what's happened. We've all got our views on it, so just thought I'd do something different. That's all. So yeah, just thought I'd put this on, just for something a little bit different. So obviously, first page is just like your crappy advertising there. What it's about, season by season commentary by Keith Lodge. Used to work at Barnsley Chronicle. Like I said, 28 seasons as well. And here we go. Let's start off first page. This is where it all began. Let's have a look. So we played under the title of Barnsley Wanderers. Were the pioneers of the game in the town before the formation of Barnsley FC. Rugby was, and apparently, a strong force, and until the Reverend Tiverton Preedy, curate of St Peter's Church from Barnsley St Peter's in 1887, these Wanderers were the town sole representatives in the round ball game, playing other amateur teams in the Sheffield area. So yeah, original Barnsley squad. I'm glad we've got rid of that stripy shirt. Barnsley rented their Oakwell ground from Mr. Arthur Senior and played a number of games during their first year. Like I said, I won't read it word for word because that's not what it's all about. Just get to main things. Barnsley first entered the FA Cup competition in 1893 when their opponents were one of the top sides of the day, Gainsborough Trinity.
Wow.
Times has changed there. Playing at home, the club scored 4 goals, Stringer 2, Erston Smith, but still lost the tie 4-5. So, yeah, it's, we keep up tradition that way, I suppose, don't we? But there we go. In 1895, Barnsley were playing in the Midland League, the GM Vauxhall Conference of the day, Raddy.
Wow.
And within 3 years were elected into the second division of the Football League after winning the championship. There we go. First ever name were Barnsley Wanderers. I think most people think it was Barnsley St. Peter's. I'll admit it, so did I, till I've just read that. So, yeah. Whoever else has joined in, new mascot for in the red corner. Bendy Man with his light up eyes. Who's getting it where? Barnsley FA Cup winning team. There's a picture. Wilf Bartrop, Harry Tufnell, George Lillycrop, George Travers, Jimmy Moore, Bob, Glenn Denning, Dickie Downs, Jack Cooper, Archie Taylor, Phil Bratley, George Utley. Far right is Will Norman, the trainer. I mean, proper football names. I'm mad out there. None of this continental shenanigans as Captain Mandarin in South at Dad's Army. At the turn of the century, St. Peter's was dropped from the name and the club colours, which had been blue and white stripes.
Did you not know that?
No! Did you?
Yeah. I know it didn't start off red.
I'm glad to change that. In 1907, the club purchased the field of the Oakwell ground for the princely sum of £1,376, and 3 years later, although a second division side, enjoyed a tremendous FA Cup run. Cool. Oh, I'm glad we got rid of that blue and white crappiness. Club firsts. Barnsley first game and win at Barnsley St. Peter's FC. 17th of September 1887 versus Manor House. Score 4-0. First scorer not confirmed. Yeah, that's a shame. We'd like to have known first scorer for Reds. Denton got 2, A. Thompson and R. Chappell. FA Cup game. Gainsborough again. Oh yeah, that's when we lost 4-5. It sounds on it, yeah. First FA Cup scorer, again not confirmed. Stringer, Erston Smith. It's really interesting. But there's some facts I didn't know about, to be honest. But so glad we got rid of that straight. We're not having that. Lads, what were you doing? Never mind, we came to see his ways. Barnsley season 83-84. I should be able to remember some of these, I would think. Then again, my memory's not that good, is it, Maddie?
Nope.
So, let's have a look. Eventually, everyone brought only one win in 10 games, and at home to bottom team Cambridge United. Manager Norman Hunter was sacked following a 3-2 home defeat at the hands of Cardiff City. And former Scottish international Bobby Collins moved up from the youth coach to take over as caretaker manager. I mean, I'd have been 10 then, so yeah, it's a bit of a tall order for me to remember it, to be honest. But yeah, I remember the name Bobby Collins. I can remember, or know of, Norman Hunter being manager somewhere. It's probably got lost or thrown out, if I'm honest with you. But the one old cine film, me at a match when Norman Hunter was manager, the team showed improvement under Collins' guidance, and they starved off relegation threat by taking 12 points out of a possible 15. With their biggest win of the season, 5-1 at home to Derby. During that season, the club's record transfer fee was smashed when central defender Mick McCarthy joined Manchester City for £200,000 after a total of 272 league appearances for Reds. David Geddes, total of 12, and Ronnie Glavin, a total of 11. Meant that they had notched up 92 goals in 205 league and cup appearances. I can just remember Geddes. Some great players on here. But yeah, it's a brilliant book, this. I love it. 84-85. On the opening day, the Reds were picked 1-0 by Grimsby Town at Blundell Park, and then came home losses at the end of Carlisle United, 1-3, and Oldham. We never, ever, regardless of how far you go back, never seemed to have a good start to the season. What's all that about? Let's have a look. So, another season struggle for Bobby Collins, now confirmed as manager after his successful spell as caretaker manager. By this time, leading marksman David Geddes had gone to Birmingham City for £80,000, and Roger Wilde and Ron Futcher had arrived in the hope of boosting the Reds' goal-scoring output. Roger Wilde, one of my favourite ever players. I used to love Roger Wilde, brilliant, skillful, and didn't no crap. I thought Roger Wilde was brilliant. I think he's still, I might be wrong, but I think he's a physio now at a club. Could be wrong. Ron Futcher, again, don't really remember much about Ron Futcher. It's just something I just can't remember. I can remember Paul, his brother, but I can't really remember much about Ron, if I'm honest. 85-86, Barnsley opened the 85-86 season under new management. This is where we got Alan Clark, the man who started the Oakwall Club's revival by leading the Reds out of the old 4th Division at his first attempt in 1979, and set them firmly on course for Division 2 before leaving for Leeds United. Returned to the club in the same year, replacing Bobby Collins. So again, probably a little bit. It just shows, doesn't it, in football with managers coming and going. There'll always be a club, but I personally think football under Alan Clark it was good. He always used to sign players that could actually play football, and Alan Clark's side used to. I personally thought they were a joy to watch. But then again, England internationally knew what it took to play. 86-87, Barnsley kicked off the 86-87 campaign with a recognised forward line. Without a recognised forward line, David Hurst having been sold to Sheffield Wednesday for £250,000. Remember things being said about that. Gordon Owen to Bristol City for £40,000, and Ian Walsh, the previous season's top scorer, having been given a free transfer to Grimsby Town. This is where we got Steve Lowndes. Again, Steve Lowndes used to be one of my favourite. I always thought Steve Lowndes didn't get enough credit, to be honest. He's a tricky, skillful winner. We got him from Millwall for £40,000, Welsh international, and John Beresford. What a free transfer he turned out to be from Man City. Obviously, he went on to bigger and better things eventually. When he broke in team, I think we converted him into a fullback, if I remember right. Then he went to Newcastle, and well, he just went on from there. But yeah, he was a great player. But I remember seeing Barry play for reserves when reserves used to play on a Tuesday night. Let's have a look. Let's move on to 87-88. Early in the season, Barnsley were riding high at the top of the second division table, but Alan Clark insisted that his team was not good enough to stay there, and he proved right. The Reds lacked the required consistency, and he eventually slipped to a middle of the table placing. That's what we used to do. We used to, well, every Reds fan knows how long we stayed in, well, what used to be League Two back then, or Championship as it is now. We always used to be a good, solid Championship side. There were, however, several highlights. Here we go, Maddie. 5-2 away victory over the First Division West Ham United at Upton Park in the second round of the Littlewoods Cup. That was just what a game that was. That was great. That brought a home draw with derby rival Sheffield Wednesday in round 3 and the season's biggest crowd of 19,343. I remember that. I was here. Saw the Reds go down 2-1. Former Barnsley striker David Hurst going on as a substitute to score the winner for the visitors in the 74th minute. Yep, I remember that. FA Cup 3-1 home win over Bolton Wanderers, followed by a 2-0 home defeat at the hands of Birmingham City. Yeah, and going back down here, that's where we saw breakthrough of, well, I think in this era, he was more or less our version of John Stones. Cal Tyler came up from youth, set up straight into first team. And yeah, very, very good centre half for Tyler. Eventually sold to Nottingham Forest. Probably, I don't think he went to the right club, if I'm honest, but yeah, I thought he was a great player, me. 88-89, Barnsley's 8th away win of the season, 3-1 at Millwall.
Dad,
yeah?
I just tell you some football news.
Go on.
Luke Thomas.
He's gone to Bristol.
Yes.
So there we go. Breaking news. While we're on live, Luke Thomas has left Barnsley and gone to Bristol Rovers. So yeah, that's another player gone. We need to stop messing and get a coach in now, don't we? And a proper one. I know this video's not about it, but while I'm on it, we need to stop messing about, and we need to get somebody in rate. Not, all due respect to him, not Devaney, somebody
who's been there and done it before.
Yeah, been there and done it, and give us proper chance to try and at least ever going up. But yeah, breaking news in the red corner. Luke Thomas has left and gone to Bristol Rovers. So yeah, I think it's going to be a big loss, that.
On a free as well.
Yeah, I know his contract was up as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, they offered him a new one.
Yeah, but yeah, he was looking good as well. But we need to get somebody in there and start rebuilding. So there we go. 89-90. So these bands had a reputation for keeping faith with their managers. Did we? Angus Seed had spanned the war from 1937 to 1953. Jim Eiley, Eli was with the club for 5 years. However, 89-90 seasons brought the 5th managerial change in the space of 11 years. Wow.
Sounds familiar.
It does. We don't change really, do we?
Nope.
Quick players on there, some right players. Carl Tyler, can't remember who that is. Malcolm Shotton. I thought that was John McDonald, but I think that's John McDonald there. I think that's Paul McGugan. I might be wrong. Paul Futcher. That looks like Darren Foreman. Reese, Tony Reese. I'm sure that's Tony Reese. That David Covey. Forgot. That's that young keeper that we had. I think that's him who broke his leg at Port Vale and never played again. I can't remember his name. Clive Baker, Ian Banks, Gwyn Thomas. That's definitely John McDonald. Mark Robinson, Steve Agnew, Alan Clark, Joe Joyce, Julian Broddle, Jim Dobbin, and Owen Archdeacon. But look at that. Look at kit, Maddie. The stars.
It's ugly, that kit, man.
I always wanted that. It was pretty. It did look pretty naff, but I always wanted that.
I'm not
kit.
surprised if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, whoever's just joined, like I said, breaking news, Luke Thomas has gone to Bristol. But, yeah, I don't know what to make of it, mate.
He's had a very funny career, Wales.
Yeah, well, we need to get a manager in there. Sorry, let's get Bendy Man in.
Yeah, I thought we'd skip it.
In the FA Cup, which took them past Leicester and Ipswich Town, ended after 3 games for Sheffield United, and there were early exits in the Littlewoods and Zenith Data Systems Cups competition. Mel Machin's early signings included 2 players from his previous clubs, Northern Ireland internationals Jerry Taggart and Gary Fleming. 2 great players, different players. Taggart wants, again, all due respect to him, not the most skillfulest, but not got past him much, unless he'd been out on beer day before game. I always thought he was our version of Vinnie Jones. Taggart, Maddie. He was solid. He used to love Taggart. Fleming, fullback, totally different player to Taggart. More skillful. I think Fleming more a really good signing for us. Let's have a look. Let's move on to down here. 91-92. With more than 2 million in the coffers as a result of the sale of Carl Tyler and Steve Agnew, Barnsley manager Mel Machin went on a summer spending spree. I remember this. Some of the players were really, really random. Some did work out. In fact, I think most of them did work out. I do remember this. Gareth Williams from Aston Villa. I didn't really rate him. Lee Butler, Aston Villa goalkeeper. Yeah, he was alright. Butler, he understood at one point Dave Watson, who obviously played for us at Prem. John Pearson, who we got from Leeds United. I thought that was a great signing at the time. Experienced target man, but again, I don't think it really worked out. Steve Davis, that's who's manager of. Who's he manager on now at the minute? That's Steve Davis.
Oh, I can't remember.
Anyway, he's a manager at the minute, isn't
he? Yeah.
We got him from Burnley. Charlie Bishop. I always remember. I can't remember who it was. We were playing away. We just conceded a goal from a corner, and he turned to. I'm sure it was Mark Robinson, and I could see him say, "You should have punched the effing thing," because it just went above his head. A no-nonsense player was Charlie Bishop. We got him from Bury. Daniel Graham we got from Man United. A striker that didn't really show his potential. I think he played a few games in Man U's first team in cups, but no, didn't really show his potential. Most of them players, they didn't really live up to expectations. Let's skip on. These are all stats, and so I'm not going through them. It looks like a game of battleships or something. I'm not going through that. Boring. FA Cup competitions 83, 84. Just shows you all stats. Teams that won't win second division at that time, or championship as it is now, fight for the Maddie.
Right,
Chelsea
wow.
ended up top. As neighbours down road, Sheffield, Newcastle, Man City, Grimsby. Grimsby just finishing below Man City. Blackburn, Carlisle, Shrewsbury, Brighton, Leeds, Fulham, Huddersfield, Charlton, Super Reds, Cardiff, Portsmouth, Middlesbrough, Palace, Oldham, Derby, Swansea and Cambridge.
Wow, Barnsley is roughly mid-table as well.
Yeah, but that's how we used to be. We used to hold us on in what used to be second division. Season after, Oxford, Birmingham, City, Manchester City, that is, Portsmouth, Blackburn. Again, we finished bang in middle. Wolves finished bottom on that season. Crazy to see some teams back then and where they are now. But yeah, look, we're more or less finished halfway. 88, 89 season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. That's when we just missed our top playoffs. I remember that. Finished just behind Swindon. But yeah, our times change. That's Jerry Taggart in the best kit ever with stars.
Worst kit ever.
Clive Baker, catching ball with Joe Joyce behind him, just covering. Some great players here, Maddie. Agnew, Carl Airy, a little bit before my time. Well, he was a bit before my time.
Look at trim on him.
Oh.
Him?
Yeah.
That's
Joe Joyce, mate. That's his club captain back at day.
trim on him.
Owen Archdeacon, Trevor Aylott, Baker, Ian Banks, Troy Bennett, Beresford, Wayne Biggins. He was a good signing as well. Well, name-wise he was. Charlie Bishop, Andy Blair. I remember we got him on loan from Villa. Remember seeing him on his debut at Andy Blair. Let's have a look. Loan. Aston Villa. Yeah, there he is. Loan. 87-88 season. Played 6 games for us. Kel Bradshaw. Julian Broddle. Wayne Bullymore, who we got from Man U. Ken Burns, before my time. Mark Burton, before my time. No, we were born nearly at the same date as me. Butler, remember him. Winston Campbell, I can remember him. Just. Phil Chambers, Ian Chandler. Mick Clark, God, remember him. I think, yeah, he went to Scarborough.
Wow.
Yeah, but Scarborough were a football.
League?
Yeah, they were a football league team then. Steve Cooper, Acrobat Man. Paul Cross, good fullback. Always liked Paul Cross, very reliable fullback. Tony Cunningham, good player. David Covey, used to love him as a striker. Very skillful. What used to annoy me was I used to take defenders on, and sometimes used to go back and take them on again rather than put ball at back at net. He could do it, but it was just frustrating. Like, everybody knows you're a good player, just put ball at back at net. But what a player. Steve Davis, John Dean from Norwich. Jim Dobbin, Scottish lad, remember him in midfield. Andy Duggan, never got on with Alan Clark. His last game, I think, under Clark, might be wrong, but I think he scored a hat-trick. And obviously that one, when there were no VAR, but his third goal for hat-trick, Maddie, he actually handballed it, he fisted it in. But he fell out with Alan Clark, and he never really broke into team much after that. Nick Eden, some of these are before my time. Fletcher, Darren Foreman, Futcher, that's Paul, Ron Futcher, David Geddes, Lee Glover, who we got from Forest, striker. Again, he never really got up to full potential. Daniel Graham, Philip Gray, I think we got him from Tottenham, if I remember right. Stuart Gray, obviously ex-Wednesday's manager, but he used to be a right player for us. Phil Gridgley, we broke non-league transfer record to get him. We actually signed him while he was on crutches, he had a broken leg.
Wow. Some things at Barnsley will never change.
Yeah, he didn't play much for us at all, but don't expecting big things from him. Chris Edworth, remember him, didn't really make it into the first team much. Remember him a regular starter for reserves on a night. Just a little bit before my time, I just can't remember much about him. Bobby Orn, I'm sure he was a goalkeeper. Chris Jackson, he had potential, but sadly had that accident. Simon Jeffels, gotta remember him. I think he went on to. It's not down here. I thought he went to Leicester. I might be thinking about somebody else. Siggy Johnson. Now, a little bit before my time, I just can't remember him. Joe Joyce, can remember. Who else? Paul McGugan, that's him we had on loan from Celtic. Can't remember if we signed him permanent or not, but again, no nonsense defender he was. Mark Ogley, yeah, fullback. Again, didn't really make it into the first team as such. John Pearson, Andy Rammell, who we got from Man U. Good, no nonsense, hard working centre forward. And there we go. So yeah, just thought I'd share that, something different, rather than concentrating on Duffy. And there we go. So yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.